boys and girls, Mrs. Clayton here with Pete the Cat. We're here for another story. So last week, boys and girls, we talked about all the things that made us unique. So all the things that made us different than others. And usually those things made us special. Some of them were talent, some of them were just things we liked to do, or things that made us look different. Oh, Pete, what do you want to tell me? Oh, he said his talent is eating cat treats. And he loves listening to stories. Even Pete wanted to do the I am special and unique. So now we have a new thing we're doing. We're going to talk about how we belong to groups. So how we're the same as each other. So last week we talked about how we were different. And this week is how we are the same. So our book today is called I'm Like You and You're Like Me. Now I already see something. I see a playground. I wonder if they're at school. Let's open it up. It says, you and I are alike in many ways. We may be the same age or live on the same street. We may even go to the same school or even have the same name. So boys and girls, they've already told us a couple things that are the same for us. So they have maybe the same age like we have in kindergarten, because you know what? We all belong to kindergarten. That's one of our groups we're going to talk about, is our classroom group. And they already talked about it in the story. It says, we are different from each other too. Our hair may be brown or blonde or red or black. Our eyes may be blue or brown or green. Our skin may be dark or light or in between. Does it matter if we all look different, boys and girls? It doesn't. That's what makes us unique. It'd be really boring if we looked all the same. It's fun to find ways I'm like you and you're like me. It's fun to find ways that we're different. One of us is bigger and the other one is smaller. One of us has curly hair and the other one has straight. You know what? They all look different, boys and girls, but they're all having fun. Your friend group, that's one of the groups we could talk about this week too. I was a baby once and so were you. It's fun to look at our baby pictures and see how little we used to be. That is a very fun thing to do. If you have time this week, you could look at some baby pictures. I've learned how to do some things by myself, and so have you. We can both tie our shoes. We can both ride a bike. We can both write our names. And everyone in Mrs. Clayton's class, you guys can all write your names too. We have different families. Some families have many people, and some families have few. Boys and girls, that's one of another important groups we're going to talk about this week, our family group. And that's a group that we belong into almost first before any other group. We celebrate holidays and special days. Sometimes we celebrate the same holidays. Sometimes we celebrate different holidays. Sometimes we celebrate the same holidays in different ways. Even though we're different in some ways, we can really enjoy being together. We can show that we like and welcome each other. We can learn to accept each other. And that's what happens, boys and girls, at Isabel Campbell's school. That's another group that we belong into, our school group, our Isabel Campbell group. And that's a really important thing to think about, is that you're always welcome and that we accept each other. And at Isabel Campbell, we always do lots of important learning. I feel accepted when you invite me to your home to play, or when you want to be my buddy as we line up for the playground time. I feel accepted when you say I'm your friend. We can listen to each other. This is a good way to get to know each other better. We can learn more ways we're alike and different. I noticed in all the pictures, boys and girls, that it doesn't matter if they're the same or alike, they're all getting along. You listen when I tell you a story. I listen to your stories too. I listen when you tell me about something important that happened to you. We can tell each other about things we like and things we don't like. We can try our best to understand each other. Mrs. Clayton really enjoyed seeing all of your talents and interests last week. I can tell you how I'm feeling. You can tell me how you're feeling too. We can tell each other what we want and what we need. Sometimes we want the same things. Sometimes we might want different things. We can try our best to be kind to each other. even when we don't agree with each other, even when we feel tired or upset. And it looks like this one, she kind of fell down herself and looks like she has a friend that's helping her up. It looks like, boys and girls, they might be playing in something called a community. We have a couple communities in Grand Prairie that go to our school. We have the community of O'Brien Lake that you might belong to. We have the community Pinnacle, and you might belong to it. And we also have West Point, which is another community you might belong to. We have lots of groups we belong to. It's unkind to make fun of each other or call each other names. That hurts people's feelings. Let's be nice instead. It looks like they're building a puzzle of the world, boys and girls. Do you think we all belong to the world group? Everyone here is the same. We're all people and we belong to our planet. We're nice to each other when we hold hands, when we say please and thank you, when we take turns, when we give each other help. This is one of the things that Mrs. Clayton loves about her classroom community, is how kind we are. Sometimes we work together to get things done, cooperate with each other. We cooperate when we build a sandcastle together. We cooperate when we play a game all the way to the end without fighting. I hope that's happening within your family community. I hope you guys are cooperating and playing really fun games. When we cooperate, we can do almost anything. We can play together and work together and be friends. Look at this, is a garden community. I'm like you and you're like me, but we're not exactly the same. That's why I like you and you like me. What a great story, boys and girls, to start thinking about things that makes us the same and things that make us different. I can't wait to talk about all the different groups we belong to this week and how that's really special too. Bye, boys and girls.